All right, that's for real. Do our Akane-Banashi Arc 2 review that we're covering the next, technically it's the next couple of arcs, at least if we're going by the Akane-Banashi fandom wiki. Specifically, we're covering the Zenza training arc and the Fetching Tea arc. Covers about chapters 29 to 50.
Sam.
So spoilers up to 50.
I just want to put a pin in this signposter for everybody watching. We will do an anti-fandom just like rant, or I will at least, because yuck. Anyway,
it's bad. It's bad.
I am loving Akane-Banashi. Can you explain though why? Because again, you're kind of providing the syllabus for me for Shonen Jump in general, but this manga arc review. Why you decided on these chapters for this next arc review.
I got you. Yeah. So when it comes to us doing these arc reviews for you guys to listen to, I do want to make sure that we give you guys, some meat, and we have a little bit of stuff to talk about. So I didn't just want to cover, only about a volume's worth of material. I wanted us to talk about at least a couple volumes worth. So for this, I feel like it just made sense to do her kind of initial beginnings as a Zenza, and then her sort of first major arc performance post the Karaku Cup. I felt like that was a good place, and I felt like chapter 50 ends in a pretty I felt like that ends in a pretty nice spot.
I gotta say, and this can contextualize some of my the meme of me not saying no to every new series. Akane-Banashi, out of the park hit. I knew I would love it, even when it was just coming out. And I'm glad I've waited, because now I get to read, just go through because not every chapter has a ton happen, because just the nature of the story. It's kind of
totally.
It's rakugo, it's not fights or whatever. So I'm glad I can really just sit with a lot of it at once. So I appreciate this. I did bring notes this time because I don't want to Tiger Wolf myself when talking about Akane-Banashi. That's honestly
fucking awesome.
That's the new thing. I blame these noise canceling headphones. I can't even hear myself think. So if I'm pronouncing stuff wrong, I'm going to blame the headphones. The biggest cope you've ever seen. Sam, this portion, there are parts of this, and we'll get to it. I want to kind of go blow by blow, but there's a section, a few pages of this thing that I think I'm gonna change my life.
Oh hell yeah!
So or the way I see life, or my life. So that leads us to say, 2 thumbs up for this arc review.
Hell yeah.
I'm already spoiling it. So this is a great one. We're seeing her I kind of like that. And it really hit me this chapter. It's a shonen not in high school. She's out of high school.
She's done.
That first arc, we were in high school a bit. And to be honest, the guidance counselor we don't even talk about before, I'm rolling my eyes a bit at her. Oh, you need to have a career plan. Rolling my eyes enough. She kind of.
Oh my god, it's so we're so not there anymore.
Yeah,
as someone who's caught up, it's awesome.
No, I know, and it's just I was rolling my eyes then. It's she's already clearly very good, and this is kind of nonsense. We're out of high school now. It's over. I really appreciate that it's adults. So that was something I noticed. So becoming an adult, right? She's 18. She's still young, and she's just starting out. She's a rookie in the industry still. She's going through this Zenza training arc, where she's not doing a lot of rakugo. She's doing a lot of tea making and brewing and cushion measuring.
You got to do a lot of apprentice bullshit. You got to do a lot of bullshit.
Right. And there's one thing I really like about it is she's navigating, meeting all these people that are above her and have been in the business a while, and learning from them and their rakugo, while also being able to keep up with her duties. And she's the first few chapters of this is her learning how to balance taking in actual rakugo tips, while also doing the grunt work and the cleaning and whatnot that these bossy masters, and not even masters, anyone above her like ask of her for
Yeah,
the
so there's
performances?
so just to get people up to speed. There's three levels of Rakugoka. We learned this in the Rakugo quest chapter. Um, there's the Zenza, which is basically your grunt apprentice level. Anyone who's just starting, who's officially enrolled in a school. Of course, prior to this in the story, she was not officially a member of the Shiguma Arakawa school. And then after that, there's this middle section, which is Futasume, which is sort of like your that's sort of your mid tier where you're like somewhat respected. You're not an apprentice, but you're not at the top level. And then we have the Shinichi, which is basically the upper echelon.
The pros.
You're a pro. Yeah, you're a headliner, you're a pro. And then we do have one more level, which we're introduced to someone who has this title, the Ukkaban, which is basically like essentially you are a Shinichi with celebrity status. You are like Shohei Ohtani. Like we know that name, even if you don't watch baseball.
You can take on apprentices now, I believe. Like you can do stuff like that too. I believe. Like you get new rule allowances in the industry. You can approve people for performances. Like you kind of are a gatekeeper.
Yes, yes. In that sense, Shinichis can have any Shinichi can take on apprentices. But yeah, the Ukkaban is Ukkaban specifically represents a level of celebrity status in the Rakugo sphere. It's a lot. By the way, very hard to look up Rakugo shit on English Google.
No. You know what? I have a book on Rakugo by an English professor. I want to reread it. I remember reading it a while ago. By the way, I think it's pronounced Okanban.
Okanban. Oh, thank you.
Okanban, I believe.
I would take your pronunciation.
Futatsume.
Futatsume. Thank you.
So I believe I didn't look that up, but so we meet a bunch of Futatsume or that are in the background. The first one we encounter is the Rien, which is this asshole. He's coming in, the rookie crusher. Kind of use I'm not good enough to have fresh tea leaves. You're gonna re-brew tea leaves for me. Whatever. Does the just classic.
We've all worked with people like this before.
Yeah. And Akane it doesn't get to do Rocco very much, but she's going on ahead of this guy Rien, and
as an opener, as a little opener.
And she is doing the story. What's it called? It's called Songo Jigo. And this is a very this is now that I'm reading manga in Japanese, this is a story that I don't think works in English because it's about wordplay, about temple titles that have Sanjigo in it, and then it's all these really contrived English ways to get
it's
there.
Very tough. Yeah, you gotta get a shot at the localizers on this one. Yeah, real tough.
You're not with this one. You're what? So I feel for them on this one. But she throws in a line that makes fun of Rien on the show, and the crowd's eating up, and they don't even know the context, so they're eating it up. And the guy's completely humiliated. He goes out after her and bombs, which is hilarious. How good is this guy? And all the other Zenza. There's a Tate Zenza, Asagao. He's the head Zenza, like bosses everybody around.
Yeah, he's kind of the manager to make sure everyone knows is doing what they're supposed to be doing.
You're not really supposed to do that, but nice, because I hate that guy. But sitting in the back room is Rokuro, the Wonder Child, another Futatsume, but he's going places. He's scary good. And he's that was not okay. I'm just here to let you know that wasn't okay. You're not supposed to change the story, do something petty. This is an art form. You're supposed to. That's not respectful.
It's an art form that's built on legacy and telling the same story for the last several hundred years. You can't just be going changing shit to be
petty. But as a reader, because the Rakugo didn't translate great. That part was more fun for me to read because of the gotcha part of it. But
It makes this come down moment hit a lot harder because you were like, oh fuck yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
really deserved what he was getting to him, and you're like, oh shit, like.
So, and that was the one time she got to perform for a while. So I think she's been itching to go, and this guy messing up my one time I get to go, because she realizes quickly, and we learn this in the Rakugo quest, which we can talk about now, like, which I believe Karashi is the one who explains, like, does like the game mechanic breakdown, the weird guy from the Karaku Cup.
Yes.
That like it's not just that there's different levels of Rakugoka from Zenza to Shinichi and beyond, but there's different difficulty scale levels of, and they use like Dragon Quest as an example because of all like the spell levels of Rakugo themselves, like the performances. There's Zenza level, the Zenza-Banashi.
Yeah, like Zenza-Banashi. So for example, Jugimu from that we discussed and that she performed during the high school Karaku Cup is a Zenza-Banashi. It's an apprentice level story.
But then there's like the super high tier Tate? Tate is the difficult scale. The difficulty scale itself is Tate. The super high tier is O Neta. Long complex stories that only Shinichi are allowed to perform, like because they're really complicated and they require like a master to actually do well. And Akane, like we learned, and I was kind of surprised with this, she's only got like 5 Zenza-Banashi in her bag. Like that's like
and
nothing.
You need 50 in order to get promoted to Fujitsume.
And so she runs into this problem where, because one of these unsaid rules is you can't repeat stories that anyone else is doing in the show. You can't even do the same type of story that anyone else is doing in the show. And since you're bottom rung, like you get last pick. So she just doesn't have enough stories to actually get on stage with right now. There were a couple of genres I wrote down that they noted. It was long phrases, so jugemu, parroting, which I assume that's like mimicry joke stuff. Faking knowledge, which we've seen a couple examples of that already, of somebody who like mishears something and imagines they know exactly what you're talking about. Or like the conman like type stories. Free for alls, which I guess is just kind of free for all, and then the illiterate character or protagonist. So there was a couple I'm sure there's more, but they've only introduced that many. And she only has 5 stories in her. She needs a bigger bag. And so that's kind of where that's how like we go like off in this arc, because we get a new goal, Sam. We get a new goal, a new villain to take down, but this time it's knowledge. So the next section is where my life has changed. So she needs to learn more stories, and at this point she's told about like you can learn stories from other masters. Like
it does not just have to be her master Shiguma. It can be
Shiguma. But you have to get permission. There's so many rules. She's learning all the rules, and luckily she's never been explained these things, so she's very like.
She's not been an official student. That's why she only knows 5 stories. It's just been unofficial kind of training from Shiguma.
She's a little ignorant though for having grown up in it. She's getting explained to people that just started too. Like I'm like a little surprised of how little she knows about the like mechanics of Rakugo. But either way, because I don't know, when you were a teen, I was obsessively learning all this stuff too. Especially if I wanted to know, like not Rakugo, but anything I was into. She goes to Shiguma and asks him about learning. Can I go and learn? He's like immediately, yes. There's this concept. And this concept, Sam, I like want to apply it to everything in my life.
Is this the I think I know what you're talking about.
The shuhari concept. Sam, I gotta say, like, this is what like gave me the most like I was really just thinking about this like after I read it, like days afterward, just the concept and how there's just not enough of this in the world. I think I talked about this.
It's a lost art form. No, it's a lost art.
Like basic, and let's explain it. But I just want to say, like, when I read this, they were very clear. It's a concept that applied to most things in Japan. Like, it's not just Rakugo, but like just anything that you need to be taught and trained, like karate, for instance. Like you can, it's not just a rakugo thing. But yes, go ahead.
So basically, this concept, and please repeat the vocab word.
Shuhari.
Shuhari. The spirit of Shuhari is basically the entire medium of rakugo and rakugoka, and this, in the way they teach, it's all for free. They just kind of give away the knowledge to those who are willing to learn it and do it,
and worthy of it,
and worthy of it. And they pass along that, and they sort of pass along that information to those who are worthy of it, in sort of with the sense that Akane, in this instance, will then take that information and then later pass that on to someone else, and take on apprentices and sort of carry the torch. It's basically about passing on the torch, essentially, and taking and just being very just having a very open willingness to give.
Well, that's one part of it, Sam. So that's Ha. That's going to be the Ha part. It's like a 3-stage. So Shu is you're a noob. They call it protect, and you just learn what your master teaches you. So this is like again, I think this is just you can apply this to mastering any skill. And I want this. I want to be part of this cycle in my life. Like this is something I want to be a part of. And what you're talking about, that cycle of like learning from a master and then giving back to the uppercomers. Like this is just a valuable human. This is why humans exist, as like we're able to share knowledge and pass it down. Either it's fire or this like art form. So then you graduate once you're good enough, and that's where Akane is. She's graduating from, she's mastered the fundamentals. She has these 5 stories down, and she's learned all the fundamentals of rakugo from Shugama here. Ha is to break with your master. You break and you learn from other school systems, philosophies, and people. You just learn about the world so you can evolve your own craft. You're not so pigeonholed into one philosophy, because you know what? There's other ways to do things, and those other ways are good. There's not one way to do a rakugo story. I think they even have a line that's like, you can do any one rakugo story in infinite ways, just depending on.
We're getting into a part of a story right now where we're seeing a story be performed in multiple different ways.
It's setting this up for sure. And then Ri is you depart, and Ri is you've learned from as many different places you can go, and at some point you depart. You leave everything you learned behind, and you establish your own identity now. You elevate the art form by introducing your essence to it, fully, completely created by all these influences and thing that you're now leaving behind. You're like a chrysalis, you're a butterfly now, right? Like you caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly kind of structure. It's very Japanese. And I was just, this concept alone, like, and you could apply it again to anything. I was just like very enamored with, and like wanted to make sure that parts of my life are following this path. Like, am I going out and learning from others and other masters, whatever it is, I just really love this. I think I might rely on this like as like a guiding principle as I continue my life. So that was the thing that I really took from this as a concept beyond even the story. So yeah, I think that, but you're right. It requires this constant cyclical sharing and passing down of rakugo, which we get into with Hasho, who is the 80-centimeter cushion hard ass, where he makes Akane perfectly measure out how close the cushion is to the microphone. And he is not okay with what Akane did. The word got around, the gossip, the rumors spread.
Yeah, this is the word travels fast in the rakugo sphere.
You sullied this art form I've given my life to. I will not teach you. She asked him. She's been told, green light, I will not teach you my rakugo. Sorry. It's not going to happen. You betrayed the art form. You're kind of dead to me. He's very like matter of fact scold.
Yeah, and he's very like he's not even like
screaming,
saying it in an upset way. He's just again matter of fact, being like,
I respectfully decline. Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. So Akane's gotta get his trust back.
Yeah, and Ark, the cool guy, Rokuro, comes by and is like, I saw what happened. Hey, I'm doing a show with Hasho. I don't have a Zenza yet. Or even maybe Akane even approaches him about this. Okay, perform. Show him that you've learned, from your mistake. I feel a feeling is like, I've been there. We all make mistakes. See if you can learn from them. That'll be what you can do to like get from this. I just, there's so many, like, there's just like, it gets to the good stuff, the character progression stuff so quickly, but not like rushed. Like,
No, not at
just
all.
very logically. Like,
Again, we're like 40 chapters in. We're not super early on either,
no. But you feel like she's still has so much to grow. I think Roku even says like she learns really quickly. That's like one of her things. She's very like self-aware of her thoughts as well, her faults. So Roku invites her to do a Neta Oroshi event where everyone has to do a performance they've never done before. But for Akane to even be able to do that, she has to get approval from somebody that she can perform this. In comes Urara, the sexy goddess of rakugo that has a line of fans out the door because they're all Coomers for whatnot. It was like crazy, the reaction, like shots of her like performances and the audience.
So the Okaban like extreme celebrity status as a rakugoka.
Yeah, and her like performance, at least like again, it like she's not just like sensual, she's like succubus, like horror, like this is like some Fatal Frame stuff. Like she's like really intensely like sensual and sensory, like overwhelming. This audience like, oh, like it's Food Wars or something. Like they cannot even contain themselves. And that's not Akane's vibe, but no. Akane has to learn this. What is it called?
The fetching tea is the name of the story.
Has to the only Rakugo story that Urara will teach. And Urara kind of takes a interest into Akane like right away. I think there's like a gender kinship going on there. Like women in Rakugo is a big topic. Shogun Rakugo Shinju talks about it a lot. Of like women were for a long time not even allowed to do it. Now we're clearly past that in this era, but there's still a prejudice that Urara is not standing for, and so takes Akane and Ruin pretty quickly.
And there's not that many female Rakugoka that we're introduced to in the story either. So,
but it doesn't seem like it's a huge hurdle anymore. Like there's enough that they can join. But she's like, you can do my story that I just like drain the audience like completely, just they're gone. You have to do that one, the hypersexual adult mature story. Fetching tea, which features like an oren, which is one of these an
oren,
which is what would you call these, like a what would you even call this profession? I should have Googled it or something. What would you call it?
Like,
I will Google it.
Yeah, go look it up.
A courtesan. That's what they call it. So high class kind of pleasure lady. Would you say
it's not really prostitution, but it's
it's a high
little
class. It's above that. It's a high class version.
Yeah.
Yacht girls is what you could call them these days, I guess.
Yeah, that works.
And she's kind of like a seductress, a manipulative one, in the way that Urara plays this character is like she is just this cunning, you can't even get anything past her. She's just bending these men at her will. They just grovel at her feet, and she has complete control. And Akane, I don't think has ever dated anybody in her entire life. So like she's like no experience. She's told to go on a date with her former bully,
Jumbo, her like childhood friend.
Yeah, and they have a pretty awkward date of her like really trying to be like woo sexy.
It's so great because the chapter ends and she's definitely like again doing like a woo thing, and then you start the next chapter and within 2 panels he's like, "Can you stop whatever you're doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it was actually like a nice date too.
It is. It's awesome.
I actually liked them, even though he was a bully. And
it's a good. I like them because they're like they like don't like each other. He like makes fun of their Rakugo, but then they years go by. We're in high school and they're like all homies, which is sweet. So
he's cool. I like him. He's chill.
It's
He seems
good.
like he's genuinely interested in her passion in a way that even though he doesn't do it, he's like a fan. He's rooting for her. I don't know. I really like. I like it because it's not hit you over your head romance either. But there's just something very genuine about what
It's a
they
night.
have.
I agree with you. I like a character like Jumbo's inclusion in the story because it's very and I really don't think we see too much of him. I think it's occasionally mentioned here and there. She also has two other friends from high school that are sort of relevant and around in the first like couple chapters. They kind of just get again. This happens with shonen characters. They get introduced, they get pushed off to the
Yeah,
side just because it's not relevant.
that
It
happens in high
happens.
school. You a lot of your high school friends just sift out of your life too once you're actually doing stuff.
And Akane is someone who's interesting because again, she doesn't go to university, she doesn't go into the workforce, she goes into
Yeah.
this kind of very insular rakugoka community, which is why almost all the characters introduced from this point on are directly involved or are reporters or stuff like that.
I also like that like they could have made this date more painfully awkward for the reader, and they didn't. Like Jumbo was like was more mature about it, and she kind of got out of her shtick pretty quickly as well, and opened up like within the chapter. Like there's just a lot of things that there's a lot of pitfalls, at least for me, that this manga just like completely just hops over, like definitely, that I'm just like, thank God, this is actually just good. That I don't have to worry that I'm gonna have to like sit through a few chapters of this.
Yeah, like
date.
your what is it like your fan service in Akane-Banashi is like her dressed up in a big like plushy Tanuki suit.
Yeah, or like yeah, if you like ponytail, like because she always does that. Like if you like hair stuff, they definitely do that a lot in this. But so she eventually learns because she still hasn't been approved to do fetching tea, right? So like Urarara is like, you have to get approved. You have 3 shots to perform it for me privately.
They call it triptych training, I believe.
Triptych training, and if you don't get it by the 3rd one, I guess you're just not doing this, and this opportunity is just going to go by the wayside. And she tries like a bunch of stupid bad versions of it, and the 3rd one she ends up trying when she uses is like, I'm going to lean into like how this story doesn't suit me. I'm actually going to just be honest with myself here and be honest with the story and come to it from where I'm at. I'm not going to try to be anyone I'm not. I'm just going to do what I can now, which she calls the story is your friend philosophy, which I like, again, like this is just like such good shit about
so
art
much.
and
If
creation.
you're a creative, I was about to say, if you're a creative person, I think you can pull a lot from Akane-Banashi because a lot of what rakugo is about the creation of art and the little things that go into it that make the huge impact.
And that's what happens. Like she goes up and she's proved, right? And she goes on stage, and when she finally has to do this character, she's like max uwu cringe VTube crazy, like, you know,
and
okay Bernie,
it's
Bernie,
yeah.
You know, kind of vibe. And like the reaction shot of the audience, they're and guess what? They're freaking laughing. They're spit taking, which is the whole point.
Yeah.
It does not the whole point of Ranko isn't like, wow, this is really believable. That's part of the journey and that can help, but like the point is to entertain the audience. And it's like, what am I capable at this level? Akane's thinking, what am I capable at who I am right now? I can make them laugh a lot because people are laughing at me. Let me own that. It was just a great way to like to turn a fault of hers into a strength in the moment and like survive for the next fight. I know this is like you could like so much shonen battle stuff does this of like they do what they have and they overcome the obstacle in front of them.
Exactly, and because Tom, that's what Akane-Banashi is. Akane-Banashi is a battle manga.
Yeah, it totally.
It's just rakugo is the medium in which we're fighting.
Exactly, and so just like the way that they're leveraging. I think you said it best. If you create art in any way, any kind, like you really get an insight, and it really speaks to like that process, which is actually the whole point to do it. Like the process and the little minutia that you change and tighten and unscrew. With each new one, you grow and have a different perspective on those techniques. Like that's like the joy of it, even though it's the hard part. Like the shuhari, that process, that grind of the zenza, of like learning from the master and then having to do the grunt work. Like the fact that there's this structure is actually like nice for the rakugo. Now I'm sure there's a lot of exploitation. They probably make nothing. How can you support a family? Those are problems that exist. Got it. But like you don't just like up in Washington Post it, right? It just like fire. Oh, newspapers aren't doing it. Well, we don't need journalists anymore. Then like it's like
yeah, and that's because and also too, like, because that's the thing is, it's like, and you're right, like as a Zenza there is no money in it, but also there is no money in teaching you either. That's the whole circle of life of this whole medium. It's like, and you see this too, and I love this. And please correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a few months since I've gone through this part of the story. Were you briefly introduced to Kaichi yet? He like very briefly. He is like he's like 10 years older than Hakane. He's the car salesman.
In this arc, I have read past it. No, that's coming up because that's who's gonna. Yeah, that's who's gonna teach her the next one. Yeah,
he's like an example of like a great character. Like him, we see this with Hikaru and Karashi in the Karaku Cup, who stick around in Rakugo. Like the people who get in, it's very interesting and cool to see the characters that end up getting involved in Rakugo at an early stage, or we catch them in their beginning eras doing it, why they got into it, what compels them about the medium. That I find really, again, as someone who just likes creativity, I find really compelling. As well as I also like
so for instance, Hosha, the Shinichi who was like, I'm never gonna talk to Akane again after this performance of fetching tea, goes, okay, I'll teach you. You've earned my respect again. You made up for that mistake. I'll teach you. And he's the one that kind of lays out this structure you're talking about of like, I do this free of charge. This is how we've passed down our art form over hundreds of years. Take this seriously. Hundreds, thousands of hours have gone into me mastering this story that I'm now giving to you. So that again, like just the whole thing, I love it. Like I love this like commercialized, monetized exchange of goods that is rooted in something a lot more foundational and meaningful and human than we typically is highlighted in society and valued in society. It's like, oh no, this is something deeper that connects us across centuries.
It's the same. Again, it's like literally it's the exact same stories that were told 200, 300 years ago. It's crazy. And also to see how it's also funny too to see how the stories, like, yeah, they take place in buildings and facilities that don't exist anymore, but like the nature of the stories is very true to today still. It's very funny how human nature is like that, which you get to see reading Akane-Banashi too. One of my favorite things about a little voice crack there. One of my favorite things about reading manga is you get access to worlds that you would never ever know anything about. I know so much more about Rakugo than 99.9% of Western people because I've read Akane-Banashi. Just because I've read it. And I think that's what's fun about manga, just because of the medium and the way you do storytelling, it gives you the breathing room to just explain shit. Just explain how stuff works.
I'm at the point, because now this is the second Rakugo series that I've like head over heel fallen in love for. Like it's now a motivating factor of my Japanese language learning journey to like go to one of these shows like in Japan, because like and be able to like comprehend.
Have you I'm curious, have you since you started reading this, have you looked up any online? Because I definitely did when I was reading it.
Well, there's some English language Rakugo.
Yeah, there's a couple of there. If anyone's interested, there's a guy. He is a Japanese Rakugoka. He also does it in English, and he has a translated English version of Jugamu that you can listen to. That's interesting.
Yeah, but like I said, even with one of the earlier stories, like there clear like this is Japanese. Like, like you're missing some of it.
It's fundamentally it's a core Japanese
yeah.
medium.
And but like I just the idea of like being able to, and I could study these stories beforehand too, but like go to Japan and like go to one of these shows, and like I'm assuming they're more popular these days because of manga like this. I mean, this manga is pretty popular. And like experience what they're talking about, because it's just there's gonna be a distance, and I want to feel that electricity because I believe it.
You got to be in the
there.
room. I bet
know
being
it's
in
there.
the room is insane.
Yeah, and especially if you can keep up. And I know they're fast and it's complicated, and a lot of it's old timey Japanese too, which is like a whole different set of like rules and stuff you need to learn. So I'm years off of that, but it's definitely like it's definitely like one of those big time goals. That's part of my like Shuhari journey. Yeah, Sam, I like this is like skyrocketing up the list. All time favorite shonen manga.
I think right now in the magazine, it's Akane clears the top 5, because I even think like, because you're in the first 50 chapters. I think the first, because right now we'll do a little beat right here. I think first 50 chapters, like pretty hard to find a collection of first 50 chapters that's like better
and
so gets you further.
Yeah,
it's good. It's really good, and the
art's
like
so good, dude. The art, unbelievably polished.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. The art gets like twice as better. Like the art gets like the art gets like significantly better. Like not just a little bit, like a huge jump up. I feel like the storytelling, huge jump up. We're gonna start getting into some like some flashback type shit, pre Arakawa school like type stuff. We get a little bit more.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah,
good shit, dude. Like really like. Bringing it up here.
You know what I think helps is
I think it's top 5 right now.
It's a tag team, right? It's the writer who knows all about it, and then there's an artist. That really works out. No,
and actually, Tom, I gotta stop you and correct you. That's not true. It's actually a trio. We cannot forget the Kashiwaya, who does the Rakugo supervision.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's very funny. You'll see this as you're reading it. So when you started the story, he was a Furusume. In the 160s or 170s, he gets promoted to Shinichi, and his name changes, and they do a congratulations for him they write him a congratulations message. It's very cute.
What a cool thing to.
He does it. How many times has Tom, name me another manga where someone who's been working on the manga achieved the end goal of the protagonist of the manga?
As it's coming out too. I mean, it's very inspiring. I really feel inspired by this one. And it's very different than like, and maybe we'll do this one day. I'd love to get you to read Rakugo Shinjo.
Oh yeah. Oh my god!
Because these are very different manga. Like I'm like blown away about how different these manga are from each other. And so like, even though the subject matter is very similar, like I'm gonna definitely reread it because now I'm obsessed again. Yeah, I don't know if do you have any final words for this arc? I'm excited to get the next one though.
For this arc, no, yeah. If people are reading along with us for Akane-Banashi, which I hope you guys do. I hope you guys have been liking these arc reviews that we've been doing, and also let us know in the comments too if there's any series that you'd like us to cover like this.
Oh, we're gonna review more series. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna review a ton of shit. Yeah. What we'll be doing is the next 23 chapters, which covers the Zenza Ren Sakai arc and then the Changing Time arc. So that'll cover again 51 to 73 is what we'll be covering next time we can come back to Akane. Let us know what you thought though of the first 50 chapters. Recommend Akane-Banashi to your friends, and go read it.